Let me share my final thoughts from the interview with Joseph Castillo. Joe's instructor is one of my best personal friends, Professor Bruno Bastos. Bruno is a fourth-degree black belt and one of the most experienced competitors that I've ever met. He has been competing nonstop since he's 10 years old, and he's, like 57 now? No, just kidding. He's 38. But he was always mentioning how game Joe was to compete. And I always saw him at the tournaments as well, and so inspiring, man, for only starting Jiu-Jitsu at age 55. Has competed in all belts, in all age groups, and currently in 2018, he's 61 and still competes. And the title of the podcast is Age is Just a Number, which he mentioned when I gave him props for starting his BJJ journey at 55. I really reflected on what I was going to talk about in the final thoughts because he dropped a lot of knowledge and wisdom talking about life and business, and I could go to a lot of different directions with these final thoughts. However, my main takeaway from the interview was age is just a number. And I'm not sure what your takeaway is though, but one thing we have to agree, there are not too many 55-year-olds in the world deciding to start their jiu-jitsu journey, compete in all belts, and achieve a black belt. I want to use these final thoughts for you to reflect. Do you believe age is a number? The reason why I'm asking is because most of the listeners are in the Masters Division, even though we have some listeners under 30 as well. But the podcast predominantly reaches the crowd over 30, and very often I listen to people saying, well, I'd like to do this, I'm too old for training, or too old for competition, or too old to learn a new skill. By the way, these are people who are just over 30, okay? And here's the thing. If I ask someone, hey, dude, would you like to train jiu-jitsu, or would you like to compete? And he answers, nah, not really. Don't have the desire. Okay, I'm fine with that. Now, if he answers, yes, I'd like to, or I'd love to, but I'm too old for that, that's no bueno. Let me ask you this. Are you currently not doing things in your life because you feel that you're too old? If you don't have a problem with that, good for you. Keep it up. Now, if you are struggling with this, or maybe you're not, but you know someone who is struggling with this age issue, I'd like to propose you a challenge for you and all the listeners. And as you already know, one of the main messages of the BJJ Mental Coach podcast is to inspire people to live a life authentic to yourself and authentic to your desires. Now I'm going to ask you, what is one desire that you have inside of you that you keep finding excuses not to attempt because you feel that you're too old? What is it? Getting back to jiu-jitsu, learning a new language, sign up for dance lessons, going back to school? What is it? I know a story about this little girl who had a burning desire, as Napoleon Hill mentions at Think and Grow Rich, to be a teacher, and she loved going to the school. When she was about to turn 17 years old, her dream started to go in a different direction. In a family of 5, the father got sick and couldn't work. The mom was a housewife who took care of the youngest sister, and her older brother was in the military, so she had to drop out of high school to work, put a pause on her dream, and help with the family income. 15 years later, at the age 32, she became a single mother with 2 boys, 4 and 8 years old, and no child support. And at the age 37, she decided to start the process of getting her GED. And 3 years later, she enrolled in college, finished her 4-year business degree, followed by grad school for more 2 years, graduating and landing a new dream teacher position at the University PUC in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil at the age of 45, 28 years after she dropped out of high school. By the way, we're not done yet. The teacher position was her second job because her main job was Shell Oil. She worked for the company for 30 years. Great company to work for. She kept both jobs for 5 years, and when she turned 50, she retired from Shell Oil and started teaching full-time. At the age 57, she decided that she wanted her master's degree. And at 67, she became a certified life coach. And currently, in 2018, my mom, Sylvia Cecilia, she is 72 years old, happily married for 23 years, and she is the business school head director of a Catholic college. On the top of that, she runs a nonprofit project called Nova Vida, which means new life in Portuguese. She coaches and mentors boys and girls from 14 to 18 years old from impoverished communities in Macaé, Rio de Janeiro, helping them to find their jobs and guide them to a positive route in life, keeping them away from drugs and crime. The program is only 3 years old. However, the Young Nova Vida project was selected from all the Catholic colleges in Brazil to represent Brazil and Italy at the Vatican this year. And in September, she will present her social work and the results with the projects from all over the world. My mother is my hero. She taught me two things really well: work ethic and integrity. She pursued her dream, and I witnessed the whole thing with an amazing work ethic and integrity above all. She is my inspiration. Now, who is your inspiration? I bet that you have someone in mind that is an older person full of life. But even if you don't have one, no problem. There are so many amazing examples of people who believe that age is literally just a number. Examples of people who have made huge improvements in their lives and even changed their careers, like Joe and my mom, who literally used the motivational speaker Jim Rohn's quote that says, "Work full-time on your living and part-time on your dream, and one day your part-time can become the full-time job and you can live your dream." Is it easy? Absolutely not. Do you think it was easy for my mom to do all that without child support? If it was easy, everyone would do it. Everyone would go after goals and dreams. But it's not. And these are for people who are really committed to execute on their desires. And do you have a burning desire inside of you? If you do, and you are really committed to execute on your desires, regardless of your age or current situation, the time is now. Like the episode 7 with Tap Cancer Out CEO John Thomas. The time is now, and you won't regret. Work full-time on your living, part-time on your dreams, and with a lot of action, hard work, discipline, and as Joe mentioned, especially patience, you will get there. It takes time, but the time to start is now.
We're glad you were able to join us for this episode of the BJJ Mental Coach Podcast, but the lesson doesn't end here. Watch the videos and download the audio of the 10 mental mistakes BJJ competitors make and how to avoid them for free when you subscribe to the BJJMentalCoach.com. Don't miss the chance to find out what might be holding you back from being your best self on and off the mat. That's the BJJMentalCoach.com.